The cop chuckled, shaking his head, clearly amused by Jamal's claim that his dad was in the Special Forces. "You expect me to believe that, kid?" His laughter was sharp, full of mockery as he towered over Jamal, his grip tightening around the boy's wrist. The flashing red and blue lights of the patrol car cast a cold, surreal glow on the quiet suburban street, painting the night in streaks of tension. Behind windows, neighbors peeked out, their whispers lost in the humming engine of the police cruiser. Jamal didn't flinch. He stood tall, his chin raised, his voice steady despite the situation. "My dad's in Special Forces. He's going to be here any second." The officer let out a derisive smirk, shaking his head. "Yeah, sure he is." But what the cop didn't realize in that moment was that in less than 60 seconds, his cocky grin would fade away, his grip would slacken, and the man emerging from the shadows would make him regret every mocking word. Jamal had heard it all before. "You don't belong here. Where'd you steal that bike from?" But today felt different. He had just been riding home from basketball practice when the officer pulled up, accusing him of matching the description of some suspect. Jamal knew the routine: stay calm, answer their questions, don't give them a reason to escalate. But when the cop scoffed at the mention of his father, something inside him broke. His dad wasn't just any soldier. He was the kind of man who operated in silence, until he didn't. The officer's radio crackled as he reached for his cuffs. "Let's take a ride downtown, kid. We'll sort this out." Jamal's stomach sank. He knew exactly what that meant. Just as the officer prepared to make his move, the tires of a black SUV screeched against the asphalt, and it skidded to a halt behind the patrol car. The officer spun around instinctively, his hand hovering near his holster. The door of the SUV swung open, and heavy boots struck the ground with purpose. A towering figure stepped out, his posture rigid, eyes locked on the scene. Jamal's breath caught in his throat.
"Dad."
The officer hesitated, clearly thrown off. "Sir, this is police business." Jamal's father didn't flinch. "Your business is harassing my son." His voice was low and controlled, yet it carried a weight, a tension like the calm before a storm. The cop's partner, sensing the shift in power, took a step forward, trying to explain. "We had a report of a stolen bike." The kid matched the description. Jamal's father didn't blink. "Description?" He pulled out his military ID and held it up, the insignia gleaming in the light. "You want to run mine too?" The first cop's face went pale. The rank, the insignia, this wasn't a joke. For a heartbeat, the entire street fell into an eerie silence. Then, swallowing hard, the officer finally stammered, "Look, we were just..." "Just what?" Jamal's father cut in sharply. "Teaching my son another lesson about how the world sees him?" Jamal's chest tightened as he watched his father. He hated this moment, hated the stares, the silent tension, and the way his father's jaw clenched, as if holding back a wave of fury that could break through any second. The cop raised his hand slightly in a gesture that was supposed to calm things down. "No need for this to escalate," he muttered. Jamal's father wasn't having any of it. "You're right," he said coldly. "So uncuff my son now." There was a brief beat, and then, with stiff fingers, the officer complied, unlocking the cuffs. As the patrol car pulled away, Jamal let out the breath he'd been holding, his shoulders sagging in relief. His dad placed a steady hand on his back. "You okay?" Jamal nodded, but his voice was quiet, almost a whisper. "Why is it always like this?" His father didn't answer right away, the silence between them speaking louder than any words could. Then, softly, he responded, "Because some people need proof before they respect you."
"But you don't owe them that."
The streetlights flickered as father and son walked home, the sounds of their footsteps swallowed by the night, the echoes of the confrontation fading into the distance. And for the first time, Jamal understood something deeper. His father's strength wasn't just in the uniform he wore or the rank he held. It was in the way he stood tall, unbroken, unyielding, no matter who doubted him, no matter who tried to bring him down. If this story moved you, go ahead and hit that like button. Drop a karma in the comments below to show some love.